Good morning, team. This is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing a video overview of the ETFs. This is for everybody. Why do I look at the ETFs? We systematize things in our search process. This is a fact. Leading groups produce leading stocks. Leading stocks produce leading groups. So we look at the ETFs to see what are some of the leading groups. Maybe there's potential to buy some stocks. Here's another great point that I'd like to share with you. Great screening tactic. Looking at the Chiefs advertisement here. Weekly on the left on TV, weekly on the left, daily on the right. And you can say, well, I don't really see anything here, Pat. But look at the weekly. Do you see that base going across there? And I'll draw this for you. This is a great template I developed a long time ago. And it really helps us. You can say, oh, I kind of see something there. You don't see anything on the daily, but watch this. You go, oh, look at that right there, going across that line. And I'll draw it for you as a service. There we go. Now, what's the best thing it could do? Let's think about this. It's made a big move on the daily and the weekly just to get up to this spot. What would be the best thing it could do? And I used to teach this at the IBUY meetups. Form a handle. That would be nice. Cups without handles have a higher failure rate than cups with handles. Why? That handle gets rid of the last of the sellers, forms a little consolidation, and then it takes off. Now, I'm not saying this isn't going to keep on going, okay? We don't know the future, but from looking at a lot of charts, you can see the constructive aspect of having a handle form there. So it's something to watch. Could it take out these tops and runs? Sure it could. Sure it could. But it's made a big move just to get to the pivot. So just a little bit of education for you, and I hope that helps. That's my goal, is to help people. Let's continue onwards. There we go. There's bots. Continue onward. There's cloud computing. Same situation. Look at on the daily, you say, I don't really see anything. But you look at the weekly and you can say, oh, look at that. That's pretty good. Form a handle here would be useful. But it's a decent base on the weekly, as you can see. Cloud computing. What's the big takeaway? Technology stocks are starting to ramp up here. Okay? You'll see more in just a minute. We build a case always. This is the Dow leveraged, and it's lifting up. It's nice to see the Dow's lifting. That's good. What does it tell you? Hey, the market rally's spreading out. That's good to know. Maybe look into some Dow stocks. Diamonds, same situation, lifting up. That's good. IBD 50's picking up a little bit. These have been languishing for a while, but they're starting to pick up now. What does it tell us? The rally's picking up a little bit. And what does that tell us? We can look for more stocks to buy. There you go, and that's what we've been doing. Okay, now, First Trust Dorsey's picking up, but it's still, again, it's made a big move. It still has to get up to this pivot, okay? There's no real clean entry here, so be careful with that, all right? China, what does this tell you? This is why we do this. In 1 second says, stay away from the Chinese stocks. They're underperforming right now. I'm not getting political. I'm just pointing out reality. That's all. There's nothing there. Leave it alone. Gold miners picking up, okay? Look at that. Look at this base here, GDX. And it's working. That's nice to see. Would it be good to buy some here? No, it's a little bit extended above these lines. And you can see this line right here. And that corresponds, watch this, you'll like this. You see these tops across here? And I'll draw it for you. This is what we do. And it's nothing fancy. That's what I like. Simple. Why simple? Because it increases the potential other people see the setup too, which increases the potential that they will buy also. And isn't that what we want? So there's the base right there. I'll lift it up on volume. It's a little bit extended, but the gold miners are picking up. Let's continue onwards. Onwards and upwards. Gold's picking up here, as you can see. This is owned, and it's working. All right, you can see this lower level base right across here, and it's picking up. Volume's coming into it also. Now, it's a bit extended here, up here. It's more aggressive to buy some up here. So we'll just let it work and see what happens. Continue onwards. Biotech's kind of picking up, but it's really lagging. I mean, folks, look at all the overhead supply. Not really a clean entry there. Be careful with that, okay? Oil and gas, lagging. Stay away from it. I mean, folks, see, this is why we do this. There's power in knowing what to look for. There's power in knowing what to avoid. So it just makes it easy. There's nothing here. Leave it alone. You'll see more themes like that. Technology's been picking up for a while. Look at this, which is why we've been involved with technology for a while. It's been telling us to. This is the IGV, the ticker symbol's right there. Expanded software technology, picking up. Good, our technology software. Medicine's picking up a little bit, but note here, Ton of overhead supply. Be careful with that, okay? Got to watch that. IJH, mid-cap. iShares, mid-cap. Picking up a little bit, it shows the rally spreading out. Is there a clean entry here anywhere? No, not really, but it is picking up. And again, what's it tell us? The rally spreading out. Aerospace and defense picking up a little bit. I'm going to pause here and share something. A lot of people, several weeks ago, you all weren't. There's nothing going on here. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to take off the rest of the year. You know, hey, we're coming to the end of the year. I'll leave it alone. No, emission winners were always prepared. We don't have a bias. This is very important. I taught this at the IBD meetups. Let price and volume guide your actions. It really helps. It really does. This is extended here right now, but aerospace and defense is acting decent. You might look at a couple stocks in that group. Home construction. Look at that base breakout right there. Isn't that neat? Look at the cup and a handle. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, we own this. We bought this. Look at the volume that came into it. Bought a couple of times. We're in good shape. Maybe we'll buy more. We'll see. Now, I'm not telling you to buy it up here. The spot to buy it's down here. All right? I'll draw it for you to help you. And it's nothing fancy. Just clean and simple base. There you go. And look at the volume pickup. That's beautiful. On this bar, the stock did 1.6 million shares. 3.5. Almost 2 million more shares. They voted. There we go. If it keeps going, we'll buy more. There we go. Don't make a new purchase there, by the way, okay? IBW, I got a bad data point on this. Always have. I've cleaned the database up. We're just going to delete the bar for right now. It's picking up here a little bit. S&P 500 growth looks decent on the weekly. What does it tell us? The rally's been improving. That's good to see. Small caps picking up here. Look at that. Isn't that nice? What does that tell us? As I said earlier, the rally's spreading out. Please don't think I'm Mr. Bull, like, oh my goodness, this is the time, go. No, things are improving, and that's good to see. We like that. Tells us we can become a little more aggressive in buying. But always control risk. Don't get sloppy. Real estate's picking up. Look at this. That's why we're involved with the little real estate. Look at that. Isn't that nice? See the base? Low level, but it is picking up. Look at the volume. I said this at IBD meetups for years. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. Folks, they voted. Look at the volume. They're putting money in it. And that ain't mom and dad putting money in there. That's serious money going in. And if that's your mom and dad, that means there's serious money in the family. There you go. Okay, continue onwards. Transportation's improving. That's nice to see. Have you noticed what's probably the most prevalent word that I've said in this commentary so far? Improving. Things are improving. That's good. We just get in line with it. Airlines are improving, but there's still a ton of overhead here. Okay? And watch this. Well, this is moved up here, and this is above the moving averages. This is living below the moving averages still. Stay away from the airlines. That's simple, okay? Regional banks picking up some. That's nice to see. You see this top right here? And I'll draw it for you. Just to train our eyes and minds on what to look for. Just a simple flat line, folks. It's nothing fancy. There it is. And look, up on good volume here, down on less volume, up on a pickup in volume here, pushing across the line. I'm not saying buy it, but that's simple chart reading. It's simple and it's conceptually correct. And I like that. Move on. Mid-cap's picking up a little bit. Tells us the rally's spreading out a little bit. Good to see. Oil services, stay away from it. Now there's some power for you. I just showed you a bunch of ETFs that look decent. This one doesn't. Stay away from it. Stay away from oil service stocks. That's simple. Maybe it'll turn, but why play the maybe game? Wait till it shows strength. We don't impose our will on the stocks or the ETFs. Pharmaceuticals picking up a little bit, but still not a lot of power. QLD, this is a good run from us down here, okay? Lift it off. It's sold here, and we took it out, okay? It's basing now. Maybe it will form another base, and we'll be ready. Locked in good gains on this, though, all right? Good gains, and for that, I'm thankful. We'll watch and see, but it could be forming. Here's the weekly chart. And what could it form here, team? And this is for everybody. There you go. Could be forming a cup right here. And on the daily, maybe a little handle here and it takes off. Price alerts are set. We'll be ready on QLD. QQQ, same situation. RTH is picking up. Retailers are picking up. This is a deep cup here, folks. Okay. Deep cups without handles have a higher failure rate. I'm going to say that again. Deep cups without a handle have a higher failure rate. Remember that. That will really help you. I mean, folks, it took a lot of power just to get up there. You think there's people that bought it here? Well, of course there are. It was down there in price. It's moved up here. They're going, man, it's a pretty good run. It's near old highs. I think I'm going to sell some. That's how handles form. There you go. Nothing to do with it at this point in time. Silver's picking up a little bit. That's nice to see. Steel's been picking up a little bit. That's good to see. Rally spreading up. SMH, still not a lot of power getting in there. I mean, look at this moving up. Look at that moving up. This just going sideways. They're not doing much with semis at this point in time. Maybe it'll form a high handle up here, and that'll be good to take out. But at this point in time, not a much. Also note, down on heavier volume, down on heavier volume, low volume, down on heavier volume. It's met with some selling pressure at this point in time. Semiconductors. Spider's picking up. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Near old highs right here. Isn't that good to see? What does that tell us? This is the S&P 500 ETF. It tells us the rally's spreading out. It's strengthening. That's nice to know. What does that tell us? We can buy more stocks. We buy strength. We don't buy weakness. We let the market's action tell us what to do. And that helps us too. Continue onward. SSO, this is the leverage one. That doesn't look too bad going across these tops up here. SSO is something to take in consideration. All right. Solar legging. I mean, look at the difference here. You say, well, this is kind of near old highs, Pat. Yeah. Oh, maybe I should look at that. Oh, Pat, this is near lows. I'm staying away from solar stocks. Isn't that great? TNA still lagging. Okay, small caps, be careful with that. Uranium's picking up a little bit, but it's kind of choppy. Another oil ETF. Look at this. What does it tell you? Stay away from oil and energy. Consumer discretionary is picking up, but there's no real clean entry on it there. Aerospace and defense picking up a little bit. Let's see, what stock's kind of in that group? I do believe Boeing's a part of that, right? BA, something to take in consideration. Biotech picking up, but it's really lagging. Okay, another biotech ETF. Just running through these. Home builders picking up. Look at that. Oh, yeah. I think we bought some home builders. Yeah, and it's telling us to. Look at the lift. Look at the base. Near highs. Clean tops here. Clean tops across here. And it lifts off on a pickup and buy. I'm not saying buy it here, but I just showed you two ETFs. ITB and XHB. There you go. Continuing. By the way, how do you build things? Oh, you need materials. Look, picking up. Pretty neat, isn't it? Just connecting the dots. There's no real entry here, but it is picking up. Like to see that. Communications is kind of lagging at this point in time. It's just pulled back to the rising 21-day. Not a real clean entry, maybe a bounce off the 21-day, but I prefer simple bases a little bit more. Okay. Energy, another energy ETF. What does it say? Stay away from energy. Done. Maybe it's going to bounce. I don't need to play the maybe game. I can find strength and buy that. Just really nothing there. Leave it alone. Continue onwards. Financials picking up. That's nice to see. All right. Tells us the rally. There's strength in financials, and we like that. Industrials picking up. Another industrial ETF. Again, what does this tell us? I'm not being the raging bull. They should make a movie about that. Gee whiz, that's a good title. It's just the idea that, looking at the chart, industrial stocks are picking up. The rally's spreading out. We like that. XLK has been strong. Technology. And yeah, we're heavy technology stocks. Okay? And it's been telling us to be involved in technology stocks. Going up. It was leading most of the other ETFs. Consumer staples, compare and contrast. Well, it's really going up. No, it's pretty dang good. I really ain't doing too much. I agree. Stay away. Healthcare, not a lot of power there. Maybe a little base cross here. Not too bad, but it does tell us the rally's spreading out, and we like that. Consumer discretionary picking up, but not a lot of power. A little bit, okay. But again, the rally's spreading up. Metals and mining, look at that. It's been picking up. Rally spreading out. Oil and gas, there's no power there. Leave it alone. Retailing, picking up. Look at that. The consumer's coming back some. That's good to see. Looking at some retail stocks. All right? And you can see there was right here. I'll draw it for you to help you. Just a cup and handle. This is an important lesson. Please don't think that the line connecting the highs has to be perfectly horizontal. It doesn't. Slight downward slope, it's fine. It's acceptable. And it's picking up on a pickup in volume. What does that say? Maybe looking at some retail stocks. That's good to know. Software, look at that. Yeah, we're involved with software. There you go. It's been telling you for a while. Hey, you might want to look at some software stocks. That's nice to know. and the max list. You can see here, here's Apple forming, and I'll draw a line here for you. It's a downward sloping cup and handle formation. Lift up here, you've got a little handle. Apple taking out these tops here, right in here, could be a buy, but what's it need? Two constraints. It's going to need a good market, and B, it's going to need volume. Volume pushing it through, as I stated. Continue onward, but it's a decent pattern here, all right? Just something to watch. By the way, please, always control risk. Oh, it's a decent pattern? Well, I'm just going to buy it and I'll just hang on to it. No, we don't want to do that. Let price guide your actions. It really helps you. All right, Amazon's basing here. I like this. Starts to lift off again. Could be a potential buy on Amazon. We like that. Making a note on it. Continue onwards. Now, what does this tell us? I mean, you look at this. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. Well, that doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty bad. See, so it literally in 1 second it says, I don't need to look at it anymore. There's nothing there. Leave it alone. We buy strength. Focus on strength, not weakness. Okay? Oh, which leads to another very important point. I said at the IBD meetups for years, never average down. Never. You're wrong. Do not make yourself more wrong. All right? That will help you. BIDU lagging, nothing to do with it. Google was looking decent here. It looked like it was going to come through here, these tops. But notice here, when it lifted above that line, was there any volume? I'll make this bigger. This is a valuable lesson for everybody. Look when it pushed through that line. There's no volume. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They didn't vote. And then it fizzles right back down. There's nothing here at this point in time. Maybe it'll base and form a lower level handle. And I'll draw this for you just to show you. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but in mission winners, you always have a plan. But please note this. It was falling on fairly heavy volume here. Note the heavier selling volume than buying volume. They're selling it. Be cautious with that. These are little lessons to learn. That'll make you a better investor. Goldman Sachs starting to pick up. Look at the base. Isn't that neat? Here's it, folks. Check this out. This is why I look at weekly and daily and have for decades. There it is. And it's pushing through. Also note, you see here? Oh, it's kind of a quiet bar. Oh, look, it's pushing up on a pickup in volume. Oh, look, it's pushing up on about the same volume as the previous day. Oh, look, it's pushing up even more on a pickup in volume. They're voting. And it's working. We're in it. I'm not saying buy it up here, okay? No, I'm not saying that at all. It's extended. Buy right, sit tight. Buy at the right price. Chasing price indicates high emotions, and high emotions cloud thinking and judgment. There you go. But it's working and it looks pretty good. Okay, we're letting it work. Maybe we'll add to it. Good volume came into it on Friday. If this takes out today's highs, Friday's highs, we may add to it. There you go. That's simple. Nothing fancy. Continue onwards. MasterCard's picking up a little bit. You know, it looks okay. It looks all right. Just shows the rally spreading out a bit. Meta has been a great stock for us, folks. We finally sold the last of it. It was losing moving averages and we locked it in and took the gains. That's it. Perhaps it'll base and it'll take off again. And we'll be ready. And you can say, well, gosh, you shouldn't sell. Well, what if it keeps falling? And you go, gosh, what did I just do to myself? We let price guide our actions. It's that simple. And you combine it with volume action. And by the way, on that bar, it fell on fairly heavy volume. On this bar, it fell on a pickup in volume, losing moving averages. There we go. Nothing really to do with it now, okay? So we leave it alone. Continue onwards. We're about done. Microsoft's been a good run. I mean, a real good run here, okay? We're in great shape. Nothing to do with it. We let it work. We'll see what it does. But you can see this lower level base right in here. And, well, I can't screw with that right now, or can I? Yes, I can. Here we go. We're going to do it for the team. There you go. Let's mess with that and do this. There was a spot down in here too. And, you know, lift it off, pulled back, and then it starts to lift again. And it's trending. That's very nice to see. That's what we like. Let's continue onwards. Oh, and let's just clarify. It looks fine. It looks fine. Would I buy more? No, it's fallen on a pickup in volume. Be careful with that, okay? It lost the ADMA. Let's see what it does. Don't force. This is for everybody. Please don't force buys. Let price and volume guide your actions. That will really help you stay on the right side. Netflix has been a great run for us from down here. I mean, folks, that's like 70 points. Well, not, excuse me, 65 points. That's a good move, folks. Still in some, we're letting it work. We've sold some, we'll watch it and we'll see what happens. Nothing to do with it at this point in time. But now look at this. Look at the weekly. What do you see here? See, we're always prepared. It's the Scout model, be prepared. Boy Scout model. Go across these tops, maybe it's forming a handle. But now look at the daily and you can say, yeah, it's falling. And Pat, it's falling here. I'll make this bigger so you can see. It's falling on a slight pickup in volume. What does that say? There's more selling coming into it. So we need to see it stabilize before we do anything with it and start to pick up. Until then, we'll just watch it and see what happens. We lock some profits and we're in good shape. NVIDIA was a gift, folks. We bought this down here. All right. That was a great move on 80, 90 points. Sold it, sold the rest. We're out of it. There's nothing to do with it at this point in time, but it's a MAXLIST stock. Look, it's forming a cup. Maybe it's going to form a handle. And if it does, we'll be ready. Nothing to do with it at this point in time. Let's continue onwards. Tesla had a downward sloping trend line here. There's the weekly, but I'm going to show you on the daily what I'm talking about. And it's not fancy. That's the kicker, folks. This stuff doesn't need to be all kinds of fancy things. Have you noticed I don't have any oscillators or anything on here? Price and volume. Now, if you do and it's working for you, good. Good. I'm not telling you not to do it, but I like the studies. And again, I've used this for years. I was managing money through the crash of '87. So thank God because of our rules, all of my managed accounts were out well before the crash. Anyway, I'm thankful, by the way. I'm not bragging, okay? See the downward sloping trend line? Started to lift off on a pickup in volume, pushing through this line, started to buy here and here, added to it, runs up, gaps up, starts to fall. And I'm telling people, hey, be careful with this. Kept dropping, we locked more in. We don't let a profit turn into a loss. Sold the rest, and I'm glad we did. Not much to do with it at this point in time, okay? We've got to wait. That's simple. Continue onwards. Let's do that. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Clean and simple tops across here, and it's steadily trending up, walking up the 8 EMA. For everybody, this is the 50-day simple. This is the 21-day exponential. The yellow is the 8-period exponential. And look at the trend up the 8. Trends pay more than all the decisions you'll make. Is there anything to really do with it now? No, but it's too extended, so we have to leave it alone.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.